Well, the first U.S. strikes against Yemen's Houthis under President Trump have killed 31 people in multiple cities in the country. The Iran-backed rebels say that women and children are among those dead. The strikes targeted multiple cities, including the Yemeni capital of Sanaa. Strikes were also reported in Geraf, that is home to Houthi-held military facilities and its political bureau. Also, southwestern Dhamar and the district of Abs.
The American aggression doesn't scare us, and we will not give up on Gaza, whatever the cost. The Yemeni people are different from other people. We will sacrifice everything we have for our brothers in Gaza to support Gaza.
Well, footage posted on social media by the U.S. Central Command showed what it says are fighter jets taking off after operations launched against Houthis in Yemen. In a post on social media, Trump warned the Houthis to stop attacking shipping or face overwhelming lethal force. He also sent a direct message to Iran to end support for the rebels immediately. The strike comes days after the Houthis said they will resume attacks on Israeli vessels in response to the blockade of aid into Gaza. It also comes at a time when the U.S. is trying to bring Iran to the negotiating table of its nuclear program. Shortly after Trump's announcement, Iran condemned the strikes, calling them a gross violation of international law. The Houthis have vowed retaliation, saying the attacks will not pass without response.
Iran will not wage war, but if anyone threatens, it will give appropriate, decisive and conclusive responses.
The U.S. called the strikes necessary to protect global shipping lanes. The Pentagon has reported over 300 attacks on U.S. and commercial ships since 2023. The Houthis have stepped up attacks on Red Sea shipping, claiming solidarity with Palestinians amid the war in Gaza.
The difference is these were not kind of pinprick, back and forth, what ultimately proved to be feckless attacks. This was an overwhelming response that actually targeted multiple Houthi leaders and took them out. And the difference here is, one, going after the Houthi leadership, and two, holding Iran responsible. It is Iran that has repeatedly funded, resourced, trained, and helped the Houthis target not only U.S. warships, but global commerce, and has helped the Houthis shut down two of the world's most strategic sea lanes.
Trump's administration recently relisted Houthis as a foreign terrorist organization. The White House also released photos of President Donald Trump dressed in golf attire watching the strikes on Iran-backed group. Giorgio Cafiero is a professor at Georgetown University and CEO Gulf State Analytics. Professor Cafiero is now joining us live from D.C. Good to see you. First of all, will there be any ramifications of the action and strikes by the U.S.?
Thank you. Great to be on your network as always. Good question. You know, right now there's a lot of uncertainty. There certainly are good reasons to be concerned about a major escalation at this point. The Houthi rebel movement, or Ansar Allah, has made it clear that these strikes, which the U.S. carried out yesterday, will not go unanswered. When, where, and how the Houthis are going to respond remains to be seen. As far as the Iranians are concerned, you know, I don't think that at this point Iran is looking for some huge brawl with the United States. I think Iran might retaliate, but it might not be anytime soon. It also might be done in a manner in which Tehran will have some sort of plausible deniability, which is something that we've seen from Iran over the decades. So really so much uncertainty. One unknown factor meets another right now.
Professor Cafiero, where does that leave the much anticipated Iran-US talks on the nuclear program?
Well, Trump obviously wants to negotiate another nuclear deal with Tehran. He's made that very clear, but he is also at the same time sort of threatening Iran in pretty direct manners, as we've seen in recent weeks. And I think the Iranian leadership does want to see sanctions lifted on the country. And I think ultimately the Iranian leadership knows that the only way to achieve that outcome is by negotiating one way or another with the United States. But in light of everything that happened last year, Iran does not want to give off the impression that it's coming to the negotiating table from the standpoint of weakness or from a position of being what the Iranians would see as being bullied by Washington. So I think what Trump is trying to do right now is make the Iranian leadership see a higher cost that comes with moving slowly. And Trump is trying to bring the Iranians to the negotiating table quickly. And, last year we saw the Iran-led axis of resistance suffer major blows. This was clear in Syria, where the government of Bashar al-Assad was toppled in December. And then we also witnessed everything that happened in Lebanon with the war between Israel and Hezbollah. So at this point, the Houthis and also some of the Iran-backed groups in Iraq seem to be the strongest legs within the axis of resistance. And I think by going after the Houthis, Trump is trying to send a message to the Islamic Republic that the U.S. is going to continue degrading Iran's networks of allies and partners and surrogate groups across the Middle East.
All right, we'll see how that pans out. Professor Giorgio Cafiero, it's good to see you. Thank you very much for talking to us today.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.